Well, Renee, here we are on
I
the
know.
set of Bel Canto, the opera that you curated for Lyric Opera Chicago. The premiere is in a little over 4 months. What can you tell us about it
I'm
so
so
far?
excited. This is the first time I've seen the set. It's beautiful, and it's been quite a journey.
And as you mentioned, it's based on Ann Patchett's book, Bel Canto, about a real incident in Lima, Peru in 1995, where some revolutionaries took over the Japanese ambassador's residence, where he was having a party, and hundreds of people were taken hostage for months. How true is it to that story, as much as you've heard, and what can you tell us about the opera itself?
Well, I think it's based loosely on that. And in fact, the book doesn't even say it's Peru. It doesn't say where it is. But the thing I love is that Jimmy López, the composer, remembers, he's from Lima, and he remembers very well the event itself. And it's been fascinating to put him together also with Pulitzer Prize winning playwright Nilo Cruz, Kevin Newberry, of course, directing it. It's a fabulous team, and gorgeous diva Danielle Denise playing Roxanne Koss. So I've loved being the den mother or curator of this piece.
But is this the first time that you've helmed an opera from the very beginning and brought all the elements together and brought
yes.
it to life?
Nobody gets to do this. I mean, typically it's the world of the impresario, you know, the director of the opera house, and of course the conductor, and sometimes, you know, so for me to kind of say to Anne, and also it's typically that one brings in a composer, and they put together the story and the idea, and I said, can we just try saying we're going to produce Bel Canto and try to find a team for it and try to find a composer for it. And so we did it the opposite way this time, and you know, the proof is in the pudding. We'll see what everybody thinks. Jimmy López has had an unbelievable learning curve, and he has mastered it. I am so impressed with him.
Well, I got the vocal score. Lyric gave me a copy of the vocal
Oh,
score.
good.
And they dedicated it to you, so you were quite an influence
Well,
and helped to
that's
both of
crazy.
them.
I'm so touched by that. I'm just absolutely amazed. He wrote me about that very recently, and you know, there have been some really famous scores that have been dedicated to singers, but typically because they premiered the work. So this is very special to me.
So what did you learn about curating an opera as you were doing this? Were there, since this is the first one that you've done, were there certain things that you didn't know about bringing an opera to life that you learned?
Well, my experience is from a performer's perspective. So to then all of a sudden be steeped in the budgetary perspective, in the, you know, selling tickets, and in the audience enjoyment, and what will they get and how will they understand it and perceive it, in the orchestral perspective. So it's certainly completely expanded my horizons and been a joy to work on.